the U.S. Marshals for their help and all the TV stations for all their help. I'm very happy that my granddaughter's coming home, and I just want to thank all of you from the bottom of my heart.
This is an emotional Mary Watson, the grandmother of little Haylee. Want to let you know, tonight, Nancy Grace is going to have an exclusive interview with little Haley's grandmother. Again, Nancy's going to talk to Mary Watson. That comes your way at 8 and 10 Eastern right here on HLN. We want to continue our discussion. Again, this is just tremendous news. Find out little Haylee Donathan is alive and well, even though she went on this more than 2,000-mile journey with her mom and her mom's sex offender boyfriend, Robbie Potter. We have our experts standing by. We'll take your calls as well. Number 1-877-TEL-HLN. Let's bring in our attorney, Ann Bremner. Ann, as we look at this, well, let's talk about the mom, because many of us are so appalled that her mom, Candace Watson, would subject her to be around this guy. What kind of charges could she face?
Well, harboring a fugitive to start with, and then she could be guilty, Mike, of some of the complicity kinds of crimes, like you're in for a dime, you're in for a dollar. So anything he's guilty of, she could be guilty of as a principal for helping him. So as we like to say in the business, a whole constellation of potential charges, not just for him, but for her.
Okay, what could mom claim? She didn't know he was a sex offender? Can we get that?
Well, you know, yeah, I didn't know. Then how come she's on the lam? And what's she doing in the same car, ending up in San Diego from Ohio, and trying to stay, you know, under the radar, so to speak, and then being in the same bed with him, and then, of course, the escape he had from the halfway house, and potential complicity there, and also with others, you know, associated with her. So I didn't know, just doesn't want
Yeah, it sure doesn't. Let's bring back Andrew DeSerto, Assistant Chief Deputy U.S. Marshal. Andrew, how did they try and hide? Did they try and disguise themselves? What were they trying to pull here?
Yeah, they did to some degree. Candace actually dyed her hair dark brown, from what I understand. Oh. And Robbie grew in his hair longer, and he actually grew in his facial hair thicker. So they made an attempt to try to conceal themselves.
Did they try and disguise little Haylee at all as well?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay. But Mike Brooks, so they go to those lengths, but yet they keep the distinctive truck that we've been talking about for 3 weeks?
You know, absolutely. And you know, with that distinctive...
That's good.
Those you know, the thunder, you know, the lightning on the back window. And, but, you know, the area they were in, Mike, was very, very remote, almost out in the middle of nowhere. So, you know, they probably thought that they were safe at this little ranch. He was working in the avocado fields. She was working in the kitchen of the place. And, you know, so they were being provided for.
Yeah. Let's bring back Ann. Ann, we talked about Candace Watson. What about Robbie Potter himself? He escaped from the halfway house. Yeah. There's no way a Tier 3 sex offender who had committed crimes against 7- and 9-year-olds in the past should be around little Haylee. That's number two, right?
Absolutely not. And, you know, hats off to Headline News, to you and Nancy and Jane Velez on getting the word out and being so successful as you always are. But, yeah, I mean, here you're looking at somebody that's got already federal and state parole and probation violations, but there's the Adam Walsh Child Protection Act that deals with self-reporting of sex offenders, and they're not to be around kids. I mean, how many times do we have to say this? Children should not be around sex offenders, period. End of story. Never,
exactly.
never, never.
And Mike, keep in mind, too, Kyle Watson, Candace's brother, he is a registered sex offender also, and that's how he knew Robbie Potter. And then Haley's own dad, James Donathan, he's also locked up, involved in this. He lived right next door to the halfway house.
And he also helped spring the guy, right?
Absolutely, along with his girlfriend.
Charges all the way around here, but thankfully, little Haley's okay. Great work all the way around. I'd like to thank my panel. We appreciate it. Coming up, just